Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. So obviously yesterday I spent all day in the workshop when it was screaming hot, and today when I want to go out on a motorcycle it's raining, but that doesn't stop us. Today I have something really special for you. This is a Suzuki van, kind of. This particular motorcycle, it was built over 10 years ago by my dad, and it was built as something lightweight for him to get around on, and it's got something quite odd going on. Now, keen-eyed of you will have noticed, well, the van wasn't water cooled. Yes, 2 radiators. That is because transplanted into this 125 9 brake horsepower learner motorcycle is a 400cc CCM spec DRZ 404 engine. It's something else. Another thing to note, so the original van was a wet sump engine, which means all the oil stays within the engine itself in the bottom. This is a dry sump motor. Now, in fitting this engine in the bike, obviously you've got to find room for everything. The radiators was a challenge. The engine is so close in this frame, you probably can't even make it out, but the front top hose outlet onto the frame and then right up the back, I mean, it is just in there, literally just. But we needed an oil tank. In order to get the oil tank in there, we had to gain a little bit of ground clearance. Now, to do that, mounted up in there, that is a shock off a Triumph Speed Triple. So it's an over square 400cc CCM spec engine. It's got a hotter cam than DRZ and a Mikuni flat slide carburetor in there. The bike only weighs 120 kilos, so the power to weight ratio is ridiculous, absolutely silly. The point that makes it extremely entertaining on the road is the brakes. This bike has the standard Takiko 2-pot caliper on the front with this tiny little disc and 110mm drum on the back. Junctions have to be planned for. You have to ride prepared not to stop. Let's just fire it up and see what it sounds like. So with that and the rain, let's get the helmet on, we'll get on the bike, see what it rides like. So yes, here we are on the van. Hanging out some lovely single track lane. Just upset him that he's going to have to wash it when I get it back to him. I'm amazed because that exhaust, it sounds great, but it's relatively quiet. Like it's not obnoxious, it doesn't blare at you. It's all relatively manageable. One thing with having the suspension so jacked up at the back, you lift that rake angle at the front, it steepens the steering angle, which makes it really nimble, almost flighty but like controllable. I think if it was a heavier bike, that could be a bit of a risky deal, but on this, it's just not a concern. Oh, it's so much fun. The van should not ride like this. I've ridden standard 125 vans, and this is something else. Took it nice and easy. Look at that. instantly to the max power, max speed of what a van would probably do. Oh. Yeah, this is like I say, the story behind this bike. So when CCM moved away from the DRZ engine, or their version of it, over to a BMW engine, I believe it was, they oh my word. So yeah, the story of it, when CCM moved over from the DRZ motor to a BMW engine, I believe it was, they started using briefly. For whatever reason, they had a number of these engines in stock that they had no use for, no bikes for them to go in. So they were advertised in the old Bike Mart, of all things, which is a, for those of you that don't know, it's a motorcycle newspaper here in the UK. And they advertised them there. It was the engine with the carburetor and the CDI unit, everything to get it running, and it was peanuts. I think it was like, I'm going to misquote now, but I'm sure it was like £700. So my dad just bought the engine and thought, oh, I'll look for something to fit it in. Well, lo and behold, at that same time I was doing my motorcycle licence, and the school at which I did my motorcycle licence, they happened to have some van dans. So out came the tape measure, and the rest, as they say, was 6 months of craft and history. But yeah, it's been on the road ever since. He always uses it. It's his go-to get around motorcycle, and yeah, gotta say, he's always said to me, you need to have a go on it, you need to have a go on it, because I put a good bit of time into it with him to make it work, and I've always, nah, I'm not interested, nah, it's not for me. Well, what a fool I was. Suzuki, my man. Oh wow. I don't know what more I can say about it, to be honest, guys. It's just like ear to ear smile, just fun, just what a package, what an absolute package. It's been an absolute privilege to have this for the morning, really has. It speaks volumes for my dad's nature, this does. It's the kind of thing he always does. From like the BSA CCM I've got, you know, that's a replica of a bike he built in the 70s, where he was taking a little 250 road bike and put in a full 550 high compression, high performance motocross engine from CCM. You know, at the age of 21, and here we are now, running in his late 60s, and he's still at it, still doing the same thing, just having a laugh with motorbikes. Fair play to him. But this is a testament. This is such, to get all of this to fit into this bike, kind of. The radiators are quite polarizing. Some people like find it as quite a good kind of oddity. Other people can't stand the look. But when it goes like that, I'll live with the radiators. I really will. This thing is just nuts. Absolutely nuts. Oh man. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this very brief video, guys. If anybody's got any questions about this bike, please drop them in the comments below. I'm sure my dad will be happy to answer them. And yeah, if you ever get offered things like this, you should never turn them down and never wait. I waited long enough. But this, yeah, that's something else. Thank you for watching, guys. Please click like, subscribe, all the good stuff as per usual. Loads more to come on the channel. Take it easy, guys, take it easy.